Hey, Peter.
Hi, Frode. How are you doing?
Very well. Super, super, super busy, but yeah, very well. Still having some problems with the in-app purchase option and author, which is hugely stressful. But I think we fixed it now, so we'll see how it goes.
Ah, very good. So that'll just like automatically activate since I already have the copy from before, right?
Yes, it should. And you would be a great test case. So if it doesn't, try to click restore. And if that doesn't work, I mean, either way, please do tell me because we have to make sure it does work.
Very good.
Just having a look at our statistics.
Can you hear me now?
Hello. Yes, absolutely.
Yep.
Hello, hello.
I'm just going to get my food really quickly and I'll be right back.
I'll have to leave at 1 sharp because I have to drive my mother to an appointment.
Okay. Where do you live? Since you say drive.
I'm in Westchester County,
Oh, okay. That's nice.
so it's one of the river towns. Nice view. Look out the front window, you can see the river, which is really nice.
I'm going to
So
look
it's sort of standard American suburb.
because obviously, you know, I went to Syracuse as well. So you, hang on. You know, I know that route. Westchester. Yeah, there we are. What's the name of the village or town or what's nearest?
Awesome.
Oh, right. Yeah, I can see that on the map. God, I've driven down so many. Hang on. Mount Vernon. That's not Washington's Vernon. That's in Virginia, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a different one.
This is kind of fun to look at while we're waiting for people.
Greetings.
Hi, Gunter.
Hey, Gunter. Question for you, Gunter. Have you had a chance to look at this community thing we've made on Circle?
Yes, I took a look at it and it seems to be a great idea. I just have to register an account and I think you have to give permission for the registrants, right?
Can you say that again? I didn't hear you.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah. It was just one word. That.
Okay. So if I register, you have to give me permission to join, right?
No. It's actually set up to be just register and you're there.
Okay. Well, then I'll do that.
But the reason I'm asking is, I can't remember. Do you already know Stefan Kreutzer?
Yes. I had a talk with him, and I think in December. And
Oh, right. Okay.
will he be joining us too?
No, he doesn't tend to join us. Well, he's on that environment, but he's not joining us usually for live.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's good.
Interesting.
Because I think we can use all the help that we can get, and that space seems to be really a great idea. And so because I'm working on various aspects of of our infrastructure, and at some point it will be very good to have more focused, concentrated discussions on what we really need. But for now, I'm just experimenting with an end user programming model, and things are going pretty well. And yeah, I'm confident that, of course, we will have demos, and I'm working on one. And but I can't give you a date because I still have to figure out whether everything works as expected. So there's always something that comes up that thwarts your plans, but for the moment things are going pretty well.
Excellent. Yeah, that's very good. Yeah, I just want to make sure that you guys were introduced because you're both German speaking and technical. So I thought there would be useful stuff happening there.
Were the translation tips useful, or did you also ask Stefan, because he knows a lot about literature, and he might also have valuable suggestions.
When you say translation, what do you mean in this instance?
The email you sent me regarding author, so how you would
Oh.
name the sections.
It's all live, and we'll just try it and see. God, it's so long here. It's just not the best thing, is it? This pandemic is just anyway. In my
Well,
face. Yeah,
well, I
that's
think
an
it's
inspiration right there. Shave it off.
No, don't shave it off.
This is not shaved off, my friend. This is H.
Worn off. Carefully smooth it down. Exactly. Yeah, I think maybe it would be useful for all of us if we look at this community site together for a few minutes, because so far it's just me doing arbitrary things. It would be really interesting to think if you think we should change some topics, add stuff, move stuff, and so on. I'll put the email in the chat just to make sure we all have it.
Okay, continue.
Oh, Raphael, you're listening. Excellent. So I know you're eating and waking up and all these things, but you're going to be moving across from the Google Doc to here, right? Because you had some.
Yes, correct.
Okay, excellent. I'm not sure how to do the invite thing because obviously I'm responsible for the book, so I have to know that we're not inviting the wrong person for reasons that may be obscure to the person who wants to invite them, which would be rare. But I guess just having it listed here and then we decide, I don't know. Anyway, please have a look and I'll try to shut up. It's not very easy for me, but I will try to shut up for a minute.
It's what I can comment on is if we create the structure first and have like the basics down, basics ready, then afterwards we can either prepare a nice email explaining Future of Text and showing people that we have this this community, and if they would like to join, here's the link, you know. So I think it's a three-part process of first organizing the group and then creating an email and then inviting people.
Yeah, I think the biggest, most important invitation is for people to join as contributors. Anybody can join as part of the community here.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean they're necessarily going to be contributors. Now, I'm going to be teaching a class on Hyperlink Academy, and that class will be called Writing the Future Using Augmented Text Tools. So it is essentially—
I saw that website. I saw that website, looks really cool.
Okay, cool, thank you. So the idea for what I'm doing there is teaching class on how to use my tools to think about the future of text. It's all very clear that, you know, you have to use a Mac, you have to, all of this stuff. But the point is the students, whoever they are, at the end will come together and write a piece for the book. So we could do maybe other initiatives like that, where it's not necessarily one author, but there is a specific community. So we keep the standards good while also allowing as many people to contribute as possible. What do you think?
Yeah, I like the structure. If usually when we think of like workshops, we tend to think like long hours and only one person, but it seems interesting to explore with smaller activities with more people involved. Maybe not in the same time, but you know, like here's a pocket something, and then another person talking about something else. That would be, it might be interesting maybe. Because the way you're talking is one long workshop, right? One long activity.
Yeah, the thing is, Yeah, I mean, this is part of it. This academy, hang on, let me just put a link here. It's kind of interesting, this Hyperlink Academy. People are doing all kinds of things. Sorry, there's a message I have to reply to, and then they will leave me alone.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I thought I didn't know I was not muted. The editorial process. I'm not really clear what. I'm just kind of tuning in here to what's happening. So lots of contributors and an editorial process that's commensurate.
Well, I am the editorial process.
Okay.
And the way that I did it for the first book is if I find someone interesting, I invite them. And the criteria is around 1,000 words, and it has to be something they care about. I don't want someone to be journalistic and writing about something they don't understand. Twice did I have to tell people that, but that was very, very rare. Generally, it was quite straightforward. So going forward now, the only reason I would say no, if you guys suggested someone, well, there isn't a good reason, but it would have to be a good reason. You know, if you have a young college student doing painting who has something to say, we want that in the book. So the only reason we would say no is actually this student has written some horrible things about this person here, something completely awful. But I can't just, you know, let it be completely open because, you know, then we don't have a book, you know what I mean?
I'm getting an error. That page doesn't exist on the link you just posted.
Okay. Just go to
It doesn't
hyperlink.academy.
exist or it's private.
Yeah, no, it's probably private. Oh yeah, that's my login page. So just do hyperlink.academy, sorry.
So not the forum, hyperlink.academy.
Yeah, put it in the correct basic way. Hang on,
Oh, okay.
this should work. And it comes up with the typical thing that is difficult in this community, and that is, you know, I'm making a tool as well as doing the book. And it's very, very easy for me to get accused of just trying to sell my tool, you know, and obviously we have to evangelize the work we do. And I hope that the community we're building, everybody will do that. Under member work, list it, get people involved, you know, but if we're quiet about it, it just becomes a very inactive community. You know what I mean?
I'm in the same boat with, I'm doing academic research, but I've also got Hook.
Yep,
And
exactly.
I've
You
got
are
this
in the same boat.
manifesto coming up, which is a social event promoting. You know, I told people if they want to join, they would join the manifesto as individuals, not corporations or brands, like the Agile Manifesto. But yeah, I mean, that could potentially.
Yeah, please put in the member work, please write about it. And also, please try to write, and I find it hard myself, how you want people to collaborate with you through an API, through giving you money, through coding, through testing it, through being a plugin to something else, whatever it is. Because, you know, in this general community for decades, we've been doing some kind of collaboration here and a little bit there, but what I realized just now, picking up my beautiful baby boy from nursery, I don't know why I'm mentioning that, but I'm so proud. Anyway, is
All the perturbance.
yeah, we tried to do WordPress, and it just doesn't do the threading very well. And I think that this circle thing, just by having the spaces or tags or whatever it's called on the left, is almost the entire solution. You so quickly can go to the different things you're looking at. And also, as Mark and I was talking about earlier today, the pages are proper URLs that are clean. So if you want to link to a post, you just copy the URL and paste it where you want to post it, end of story.
Yes,
So hopefully we'll get something happening.
that's true. That's true. The URLs are very organized.
Yeah, it's a huge thing. So yeah, very open to any suggestions of how to add, change, etc. Mark, I know you had an errand to do. I'm just mentioned we're talking about the our circle community and what and how and so on.
from our last conversation, I haven't had a lot of time to focus on this specifically, but I did write down a couple of ideas. I think since the Future of Text Symposium, this is going to be the 10th year, right? So there's a lot of talks on YouTube and a lot of slides, and it would be really cool to have different areas for each of the years. Right now, you only created one area called Spaces, but you can have multiple of these. So if we have another one at the bottom called Symposiums, then we can have a hashtag for each of the years. So if people want to continue a conversation from a symposium talk that happened in 2016, then they're able to continue the conversation here about something that was presented a couple years ago. That way things don't die like they usually do on the internet. People stop talking about it. And it's an ongoing conversation about topics that people are probably still working on and still working towards.
Okay, that's really good, and we should discuss that. But before that, because I have a small question to you guys, should we maybe also have a space called Guide to Authors, Guide for Authors? We should, right?
Yeah, guidelines, right?
Yeah, because this is where we want authors to come in. Let me just make that now, because that's so easy, and then we'll discuss your bigger thing. Just gonna make it here, make it empty, create space. So welcome.
Bro, your author is great, but I still prefer to start my notes in index cards.
Oh. Wait, what was that in
Quick
reference?
question.
Oh, right. Okay.
Index cards.
Yeah. Who had the quick question?
Yeah, does the Spaces circle have an API? Does anybody know this?
I don't know, but if you want to have a look for that, that would be really good. So,
Yeah.
Rafael, I am sorry for having that little confusion there. Let's go and talk about what you said. The question is, should we have one space that links to all of them, or can we nest them? Because if we're going to
I
have
don't think
10
we should.
spaces.
I don't think we should nest. If you go open a tab for the Nest Labs community, it's going to be very clear. On the left side, you have an area for community, an area for channels, an area for support groups, and another area for courses.
Oh, yeah, okay. So, yeah, I see it. Okay,
Yes.
so we've got to figure out a way to make that. So create a space next to that. Edit space group. Space group. So, okay, so. Sorry, someone's texting me. I'll have to put them on silent, sorry.
So it's probably separate groups then.
Hmm.
Okay, so why don't we together here decide on what these are going to be called? Because one of them will be for authors, I think.
Mhm.
There's a separate one for general members. And that needs to be invites only.
I think the first one on top should be introduction, welcome, guidelines.
Introduction sounds great.
About, yeah.
And then we have symposium. Symposia.
Symposia, probably.
And what should we have we should probably have one that is all the stuff for helping marketing, promotion. What are we going to call that? Evangelism? You're not a fan of Guy Kawasaki?
And of that
Advocacy.
word. Advocacy. Or correspondence.
That's the new term for it. I once
Yeah.
was when Java first came out, they offered me a job as Java evangelist. but now they're called,
Mhm.
that kind of thing is called advocacy.
I like that. I like that. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm going to try to make this happen now. So I'm making a new space called introduction. So exciting, guys.
It's taking form.
Yeah. So now I have to find out how to make the introduction one go there. Settings, edit space, that sounds very sci-fi. Space group, introduction, yes.
And then
Oh, they're
one
all in
for
introduction now, okay.
and then one for the book.
Yeah, it's a bit fiddly, so there is a, see, edit space group, delete. Okay, here we go. Should we call it for contributors or for authors?
I like contributors. Somebody can be a contributor, not be an author. Maybe they can collaborate on an illustration in the future. Or video things differently.
So who to invite would go for contributors, because only contributors are really allowed to deal with this. That makes sense, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, I think I managed to do that. Can you reload and see if it's worked for you guys?
I'm getting an error. Let me see if I go to the home. Okay, introduction for contributors and links.
Fantastic.
Are we looking at circle.so? Or are we looking at something else?
Yeah, we are. We're looking at, yes. I'll give you a link so you go to one and then it can go out. We're trying to organize the groupings on the left.
Yeah, I'm logged in. I see it now. Yep.
So we should probably have a section on, hang on, it's a bit weird. Create a space, no.
I have like a topical subtree for book content.
Book content, okay, if you hold that for a minute. So let me just see here. Oh, here we go. Advocacy, advocacy as a group has been added. And what other groups?
The symposia.
Thank you, that's an important one. So refreshing that this exists.
Yeah, I'm quite happy with it as well.
Oh, I added that as a wrong thing. Delete space. Yeah, I was supposed to add it. I don't want to create a space. I want to create a group.
Okay, so the hubs are called groups, and
It's
the
just
spaces are individual.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just that the buttons to create it was a bit odd, but it's okay now, it's fixed.
So
Okay.
what does joining a space do within the overall site?
It's just a chat forum.
Oh, okay. So it's like a sort of sub on a forum software, a sub forum. Or
Yeah.
does it? Yeah. Okay.
It would be like a subforum. I guess this can be considered like new kinds of forums because there's different things involved and the structure is kind of the same. If you start thinking about forums, this is literally a forum, but with new design.
Should we have a section called members? Or where we have introductions and member work? Or should we call it
Um,
coffee shop?
I think a group that we can create would be for people to talk about their work, right? So it would
We
kind
have
of be a
that.
showcase.
We have one called member work and one called member introductions, and I'm happy to change those names. But that's really
Ah,
about
okay.
instead of member directory, we need to find a way, because usually, we join something, we don't normally necessarily go around and read up about everyone's there, right?
Mhm.
Need a slightly better title or something.
Could there be a member menu with work and introductions as sub items off of it with introductions above work?
Yes, that's what I'm planning on doing, but I'm not sure what to call that grouping.
I feel like some of those spaces would be a group on itself, because then you could have like members work, and then you could have like people that are writing texts, people that are doing talks, people that are working on academic materials. You can have subcategories of members work, and I feel that to be valuable.
I think that's perfect. So what I'm going to do here now is for the one that is software, should we call that one, since that's what we already have, before we get to writing and stuff, should we call it technology or software or what?
That depends, because book is a technology. So software defines it more properly, maybe.
I think technology is actually quite good.
Mhm.
Okay, and then we have, sorry, that should be plural, member projects.
And the symposia after you're done.
Yeah, you want the symposium moved down?
Where is the symposium?
It's there if you reload symposia.
I see introduction for contributors, advocacy, and member projects.
Yeah. Yeah, introduction for contributors, advocacy, symposia, and member project. That's what I have.
Okay, then it probably hasn't updated on my end.
But so monthly meetings, that should be open to everybody or only contributors? Information about that.
It feels for contributors.
So you think that the monthly meetings information should only be for contributors?
What do other people think? Because it feels like if you're contributing, then you're going to be part of the monthly meetings, because this area is already for group discussion, and I feel like the monthly meetings is more specific to align things regarding what's to be done.
So we have the member projects. We have one called technology. Well, I put that one under members since no one said anything else. What should we call the other one? Writing projects?
Writing, academia.
Okay, but we need to agree on what we should have. If people can type in what they think. I can just do another, I can do academia. That makes complete sense. Academic. And then maybe design. Raphael, what would you put yourself in? Art and design, maybe?
The term for my project is one of those personal knowledge management workspace things.
I
It
would-
goes into text, but it goes into knowledge management. It could be design. It's a visual design tool.
Okay, because I would put you under technology
Mhm.
with my top level thinking, but this is really for the members to decide, so.
Yeah.
Is it too geeky to have one called infrastructure, like what Gunther's doing and what I'm doing with Visual Meta? Would there be others?
Oh, I'm sure for the coders to be part of that, it's more. What do you think, Gunther?
Would you post something on that, Gunther?
Well, in fact, yes. So there's a lot of work to do that I certainly can't do on my own. And I think, yeah, I mean, I think infrastructure is fine. I think there's no need to coin a fancier word because it already is.
Or should
Well,
we just stick to
I
technology?
think well, not really. I think because infrastructure is, might will use technology, but it's more general than that. I think infrastructure is a good term, but yeah, but can't think of anything better right now.
Should we call
Because
it,
it's really I'm sorry, because really the point of infrastructure is also to deliver technology and to embed technology, so it certainly needs to be a section on its own.
I feel if we have less categories but more broad, it would be better than having a lot of very niche topics.
yeah. I have art and design rather than design and UI. I think
Yeah, that
UI, we
works.
just keep as design,
Yeah.
or should we just do it art, design, UI?
Well, once we go into one of the topics, we can have a pinned post on top to explain the kinds of discussion that we want people to have in this environment. So it's just, instead of complicating the titles, I feel like we can just make a better introduction.
Yeah, but we still have to have a place for it. So I think art design, because UI will definitely be an interest to people. UI or UX? What's the fashion these days?
They're actually a little bit different.
I know, but I don't want it to be too broad. And
I say in my Bugzilla instance, I say UI/-UX.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
should we have one called AI and then click on it and it just says, just kidding?
Well, let's see about that.
Well, people are starting to experiment with, GPT-3 and things like that. Maybe somebody in the community is doing work with text plus AI. Who knows? But I feel like that might
they
fall
are.
into technology.
Yes. Yes. It's just that, yeah, absolutely.
I still swear by old-fashioned symbolic AI.
Good old times.
Give me my memory organization packets.
Speaking of which, since this is Visual Meta, I'll just point out that there's a Metamorphogenesis project on the evolution of visual, spatial reasoning and representations. If anybody's interested, it's in Britain, Birmingham. I'm
Ooh, do you
part
have a
of it.
link?
Yes.
Yes, send me a link, please.
Okay, here it is. MMP, thanks to Text Expander. Boom. I could do a course on hyperlink and bookmarking with Text Expander if you want.
That's interesting.
Yes. Who needs to click to get bookmarks? Not me.
I'm just
I'll have
doing
to
one or
look
two
into
in the symposium,
Mhm.
just to set the standard here.
That's
Okay.
very interesting. Saving from awareness. Huh.
I have good experience with URL Manager Pro.
URL Manager Pro. Let me see what that is.
Okay, can you reload and have a look at Symposia, just as an example, to see how we should format it, please?
I see the 2011, and then you put a link to the website.
Hmm.
So that would be the pinned one on top for the record.
Yes.
That looks good.
Okay, cool. So while I'm doing some of these exciting things, what other aspects do you guys think are worth discussing vis-a-vis regarding? Site? Or is there anything you'd like to talk about Friday? When we have our monthly meeting?
I don't have anything on top of my mind yet.
How about a section for all the tools that we use in dealing with the flood of information that's washing over us?
That's a good question. But is that a specific topic in this regard, though? Because, you know, then we could almost start moving into like things like fake news.
Yeah, if we are to be focused on text itself, I feel maybe only the tools that members are working on, and then it would be part of members' projects.
Yeah, yeah.
We have text discussions on top and then book suggestions. Maybe we can have just a tool suggestions, or not a specific group for tools, but like one specific, only one topic for it.
Yeah, I think that would be a bit specific.
I don't know, I'm thinking someplace where you could have hook, tinderbox, text expander.
Yeah, that goes under, oh, so that's not member projects. So that's technologies that you want people to look at, right?
Yeah, like sharing different tools, different projects, different ways.
Mark, that's what we have in the Discord for things you made, things you didn't make kind of thing, right?
Yes, it is. So I think I'm going to have to reboot and come back again. My system process has become runaway, so I'll be back in a second.
I think I'm missing 2017. I'll have to go and look for that. I wonder what happened.
I saw an interesting project on GitHub about a year ago or so. It was software that would attempt to identify who the author of a text was by comparing the text with an existing corpus that had known authors. So it was looking at word usage, style, overall structure, and trying to assign probability which one of the authors was the one behind a given fragment.
So what you're saying there is really interesting. It relates to what we just said. We need to have a reading list, like a suggested reading list. Like here is really good stuff.
Yes.
So I'm just adding 2020 here.
But we have the book suggestions, and then on the book suggestions, we can have this a topic for recommended readings.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I'm going to add that in a few seconds. Okay, please reload for the rest.
I can see a lot of topics for symposia now.
Okay, I have to reply to another message. I'm so sorry. I have this horrible issue with a user who used a very, very old version of some software, and they're having some problem. I don't, anyway, let me just write him a message.
Yeah.
Okay, boom. I'm so embarrassed. Okay. So back to this, we said, okay, so we have an introduction for contributors. Should we see, here's the thing, we're excited about this now. And we look at this text in a different way. I would like to call that reading list, maybe library, but you go to discussion forum, you say library, it's the most gosh darn boring thing you could ever imagine, right?
No, I love libraries.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
it's
But
clear.
digital library, until you know the humans involved in it, just looks like a forum that has some old stuff that they want to file away. So should we call it something like Front of the Presses, recommended books, recommended tools, something like that, or recommendations, or?
Recommended readings is good. What would be very nice is to have,
I think that's
for
it, actually.
example, that's it.
Yeah, please keep talking. I just got a bit excited there.
Because I think the nice thing is to dive deep into a book instead of having a bunch of different posts about that book. You know, like there shouldn't be two books on the book. Right? I make one single topic and it would be just a discussion for this specific book, and then it just grows on this specific book. And thank you for the recommendation, Frode. There was a speaker, Keith Houston, in one of the symposiums.
Yeah.
I got his book instantly. Really good book.
Yeah, he's a clever guy.
I got into a huge debate with the librarian once, arguing that the public access catalog should allow library patrons to annotate the records. And the librarian was just horrified because they felt that they were the arbiters of ground truth, and to allow a library patron to suggest that maybe a book was misclassified was just absolutely horrific to her.
So what I've done, if you reload now, everybody, I've created recommended reading and recommended tools.
Okay.
And in books, in reading, I have books and papers. I think recommended reading doesn't really read, there you go, properly. So how about this? I'm going to change it.
Recommended readings? Or suggested readings and recommended tools?
Yeah, please reload and have a look, see visually if you agree with the change for reading. It's just because the word recommended didn't fit. I mean, sorry, the word reading.
Well, it's going to look different than recommended tools.
No.
Yeah,
both of them have been
flash.
changed now. Both have been changed.
Oh, okay.
So what's that Google mobile phone thing? That's called what? Chrome or something? Android. So it's also a question to you guys. If you reload one more time, please, and look inside tools. I put it by OS. The reason is there's no point looking unless you have access to that. Well, You would primarily look if you have access to that operating system, right?
I agree, but nowadays there's a lot of tools that are web apps and they're
Oh, yeah.
cross-platform.
We need web.
Okay, how about cross-platform?
How about no? Because if it is cross-platform, you put it in one, and then in the other one, you link to it. How about that?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay,
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, at least for now, right? Okay, so
And also, it's probably the fact that most people, I mean, it'll be a small niche of people who are using tools across a whole host of OSs. A lot of people are generally using it. No, well, less mobile desktop, but certainly people who are working on, say, on Mac or Windows or Windows and Linux every day, I suspect is a smaller subset of the whole.
see, this makes me wish that the user interface had an option to have a set of check boxes after the item, so that you could have the name of the tool, and then there could be a Mac OS, Windows, Linux, iOS, and Android checkbox, and you could just check whichever ones of the boxes are applicable.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Okay, that's definitely a user interface idea for my next project.
yeah, I mean, that's the kind of stuff I would hope we could do here, but you know, it is a powerful thing, but it doesn't it doesn't have easy voting and things like that, which is, you know, a tag is a kind of a vote, right? As far as I know so far. So we don't have a section yet for other than member introductions. Actually, in introduction, we have member introductions. That is not a bad idea, right? Oh, someone added book suggestions. Oh, that is our book. That should be named.
Oh, how about affiliations? And then members could list themselves under an affiliation. So you could go to one point and, you know, maybe ACM, SIG-Chi or something, and then you could see all the members who are part of that.
I think on the search
Together.
box, I think in the search box you can do different ways of searching. I have to read the documentation, but I know there's a different way of searching for things. I forgot the name for it. Yeah. So when you use the search box, you can find posts, spaces, people, and hashtags.
Does each space and each person have a corresponding hashtag automatically?
No, it's I think it's the @ sign. If you use the at Frode, then you find things from Frode.
Create a member tag. A member tag lets you identify members with categories, personas, or roles. Optionally, tags can appear on member activity and profiles.
Oh yeah, because that way you
that
can
sounds
have
good.
like, you can have beginners, you can have like admins, you can have authors. Like an author can have the author tag. So when they're posting, you can automatically see that, oh, I'm talking to an author.
Okay, let's see if we can do that on our own profiles.
Yeah, there should be like a coder tag for people who program, writer tag for people who've got stuff out there published.
It has social links. It doesn't. I have to assign them apparently. Okay, so I'll give somebody one. Who wants to have a tag? Should we call you a designer, Rafael? Designer. So I choose an icon for you. This in itself is going to take a while.
Just put the little brush.
Yeah, that or a beret, right?
Yeah.
I guess we can dispense with having a lawyer tag.
I'm sure we'll think of one. Gosh, I'm just trying to choose it so we don't have to do it a million times. I don't think pen, because that's probably going to be for writer, or brush, you said. Nah,
Yeah, brush would be designer, pen would be writer, maybe a cog for a programmer, or a beanie with a propeller if they had that.
anyone else considers themselves a designer? Actually, I'm a designer, so I'm going to put boom. All right.
Yeah,
And
that would
then-
do.
So I've done that now. And I'm going to create another one, just two, so to make sure if they work. I'm going to call this a technologist. Because I want to see if we can have more than one tag attached to each person to address the issue that you just brought up.
Yeah, I should get the technologist tag, and Gunter should have it.
For sure.
Should we have in the introduction a topic called calendar? So we can put, events, conferences, talks, things that are going to happen.
Yeah, events would be a good title.
I have that kind of. Okay, let's see now. Back to community. Hang on, let me have a look. We have, see, it's already become too
Yeah.
busy. We have the week, the monthly, that's under monthly, that's monthly meetings. Actually, I guess I can have that up here. Yeah, I can make that. Okay, so we have a category called monthly meetings.
But that's for something specific. The
Yes.
calendar would be for more broad, maybe like there's a talk that's happening on South by Southwest that is interesting, and then people can recommend. I don't know.
I don't think that'll be called a calendar. I think that'll be called, hey, check this out, happening soon or something. I don't know.
Mhm.
But we have 4 contributors, the monthly meetings. Should we allow everybody to attend the monthly meetings? Because if so, we need to make it more clear. And I mean, I think it's a nice thing that people can join. And one of the things that's always been an interesting issue for me with the future of text is, even though most of them, I have either Vint Cerf or Vint Cerf and Ted Nelson and Adam Chire, some amazing people. I don't tell anyone that, because I don't want someone to come there for the few who happen to be celebrities. They should only come if they think it's interesting, because you have to be really dedicated. You know what I mean?
I agree, but that's also missing an opportunity for marketing using big names and to get other people interested in the topic.
Now we're at a different stage. Yes.
Okay.
So I'm going to just edit this introduction point. I'm just going to say, please tell me if you would like to have a tag in this community.
So for these tags, are you able to create certain areas that only people who have this tag can see, like an admin tag, but for different topics? I don't know the use for that. I feel like everything should be open, but if we have a tag for authors, then the authors can see things that they can, maybe something they haven't published yet, but they can start sharing with other people that are involved in, in the book.
Hang on one second. Hang on. There is just, I just want to make sure people get, okay, onboarding, okay.
Onboarding.
No, okay. The tags seem to be very weak. I'm going to go back to them. Member tags. Is there, okay, we only have technologist and designer. Who else in this group here? Is there another tag? Mark, what are you, academic as well as technologist?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I I'm just not trying to dignify myself with the term technologist, but yeah, probably an academic or researcher.
Researcher is nice.
Yeah, that fit for me too.
Because I mean, yeah, I'm sort of flying under the fig leaf of academia. The fact that I'm mainly just doing my own research.
But okay, in reality, how different is researcher and academia? An academic, I know it is different, but let's.
The main difference is that I'm not doing any teaching. To me, no, I agree they're the same. I mean, I'm just conscious that a lot of people who are also in an academic stream are actually a significant portion of their sort of work and their process is tied up in teaching, and but I don't see the two as being in any way at odds to one another.
I'm calling you academic.
Okay. Not complaining.
Okay, anyone else you think we should, any other tags? Or do you want to have a look at yourself to see if you are tagged correctly or even at all? I haven't gone through this with any kind of logic.
So is that in our profile?
Yeah, just click on your own name wherever
Yeah.
you've done something.
Yeah. Sure.
Can we choose our own tags?
No, that's what's so silly. I have to sign them for you.
Oh, I see.
So
Otherwise, well, we all end up. Well, we have a tag. It's our name.
Let's see what it says here in the documentation. Knowledge base.
Maybe there's an assigned tags permission that you could give the rest of us so that we could manipulate our own tags.
is there?
There should be. I don't know if there is or not, but if I was a designer of the system, I would have put that in.
Depends what they mean by tag, I guess. I completely agree with you, but when I go under the admin thing, I go to member tags. The only thing I have is create a member tag. Okay, I'm going to edit and look at it again. So I've got name, icon, color, visibility, which is display on here and here. And
I found the
then,
documentation for it. So it just says member tags are a fun and flexible way to identify community members and share a sense of identity. Tags can be visible to admins only for internal tracking or to everyone in the community. So they don't provide a real purpose inside the platform. It's just visual.
It allows Freud, but secretly on the naughty step. I mean, I think your point about tag, what are the tags doing? It sort of rather harks back to our conversation this morning about, keywords. Are the tags there because they're seen as an affordance for search, or are they more like visual labels?
An access control mechanism.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just used so you can quickly see who that person is, like in what category that person belongs to.
So they're more, in a sense, they're more visual markers than
Yes.
anything else, as far as I can see. Which none of these are a bad thing. It's just the problem of the fluidity of the term tagging.
Yes.
Now
Yeah.
I'm wishing that the tags were a fuzzy tag mechanism so that you could indicate the degree to which you're a technologist versus the degree to which you're an academic, instead of it just being a binary setting.
Yeah. But I tried using the search bar to find people with specific tags, and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
See, then I could say I'm a 40% designer.
Everything exists in a spectrum.
Yes, exactly. Good. Well, I seem to be a binary technologist and academic. Terribly old-fashioned.
And then, of course, you want to lay on the degree of confidence in the assertion so that you could be 80% confident that you're a 40% designer.
That's great.
But actually, jesting aside, that's also quite useful stuff. And again, thinking about having a conversation, sorry, in a different place this morning about things like visual hypertext and sort of maps and loose affiliation as being the sort of the opposite end of things from mappings that work out of very fixed data structures. And the facts that you might be, 60% of technology for sake of argument, and 40% of something else, or 2/20s of two other things, is actually quite interesting in terms of fuzzy associations between groupings.
Yes, I mean, this is what they deal with in military intelligence, of course. You have to constantly update the reliability of the source, the way it came to you, and all of that stuff to an extent. So it'll be interesting to learn from them, but for some reason they don't want to talk about it very much. Who would have thought? Okay, so in the introduction category now, what should we keep there and what should we move?
What is text discussions?
Oh, that was a kind of a placeholder for whatever, let's say Peter has a nice thought about something and he doesn't know where to put it. So should we maybe call it general or coffee shop or?
Yeah, I think it should probably go into the reading recommended, because what if I want to link a Medium post? It's neither a book or a paper. It's just reading post.
Okay, I'm afraid I have to bow out now for elder care. I'll see you guys on Friday. Take care.
Yeah, look forward
Bye-bye,
to it.
Peter.
Thank you, Peter.
Peter.
Bye-bye.
Well, inside reading recommended, we have books and papers. Should we make one called
General.
or websites?
Well, it depends
General
on.
/ web?
Yeah, I guess. Sure. That's good.
Do we need to differentiate too much? The sort of chicken egg problem is there's a danger of having over specification, and then people don't put it anywhere because they're not sure which one to put it in. Of course, the other end of that is you just have one bucket and everything's in there and everyone complains they can't find anything. I guess there's a happy.
I usually start with a general, and then
Yeah.
as this discussion goes, if there is a need for a specific one, then you create the specific one. But like every group always needs a general because there's always going to be like, oh, where do I put this? Where do I put that? So it goes into the general box.
If I saw a split at all, it would be more between things like papers, formally published, published things, books and papers, against more general web stuff. Because the other aspect of this is what is openly accessible and what's behind some wall of whatever. It doesn't matter for what reason, but if you go there, someone says, "You go take a look at this," and you go there and they can't get in, that's another sort of thing, and that's actually more of a barrier in terms of the way you carve things up. Can anyone see it? So in a book, you might have to go and buy the book, but you can do that. In most cases, or you get an e-book or something.
Yes. But in that line of thinking, then maybe members projects, we could have just a general topic, and because tools is very specific. Like there's a small amount of tools, different operating systems. But for both projects and reading, I feel like it's very broad. But there are some very specific things that we mapped out already.
So is this, I presume this is intended to be, in a sense, a mixture of reference and conversation, in the sense that we're not expecting everyone, or indeed even a small percentage of people, to read absolutely everything that's posted. I say this as someone who's a forum moderator elsewhere, and I try and I take it upon myself to at least look at everything, because it's luckily not too busy, mainly so that nothing slips through the cracks, or you just make sure that new people get noticed. But I think what we're doing here is we're quite happily mixing some bits which will be more of a conversation, and other bits where they'll be more like reference lists. Does that make sense?
Oh, totally. I would totally use this as a reference to find new books, to find new materials. And I can talk about these things in this very space, right? So it's that hybrid that makes it very nice.
I'm just adding these links to the intro chat here.
But I'm already quite happy with like the structure that we have for things regarding both the symposiums and text in general. This by itself is already quite valuable.
Yes, because one of the things I can see coming out of this is in a sense, almost, it's like a literature review, but I don't mean in that way, in the sense that, no, but where might you find things? We've got a wonderful cross-section of sort of people's views on text, and we're hoping to make it wider. But you can't necessarily hope to hit everyone up. So if you see something, or someone's talking about an aspect of things, thinking that's interesting, where does one start looking? That's another nice thing that we may begin to acquire in terms of some of the links and things that are there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to ask you guys to look at something. This is so exciting. Just have to capitalize something, otherwise Mark Anderson will be annoyed at me. All right, please go into the welcome section and look at the welcome message that I've written.
Yeah.
Section.
Actually, I'm going to move that tag thing one down.
So what happens if I say?
Actually, please reload that page. I'm sorry, I made an obvious fix.
Oh,
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Yeah, so that's interesting. The tags, it's seemingly, if you have, I don't know whether it's number based or space based, but
We need an example, right?
you show two and then it says more, and I assume you'd click on them, but actually it just lists them, which is fine, but it's something to bear in mind. So in other words, there's probably not a great, one needs to think carefully about how many tags you apply, because if they're broadly visual markers and you can only see a couple of them, then having 20 wouldn't be much use.
You know what? I think I will remove the use of tags and just have one tag for me called editor. What do you think?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
The
if
community grows and it starts getting tricky. If you could do the clicking that you talked about, Mark, I would agree to keep them. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
I agree. If they had any use in the platform other than visual, I don't think we need this complexity right now.
Yeah.
plus the fact that of course, this is It's a classic bit of user experience, isn't it? So I go to click on more, and when I click on it, the pop-up disappears.
Yeah.
I mean, I get what's going on, and I'm not trying to be unkind, but it's quite an interesting, it's sort
Yeah.
of not quite what we're expecting.
Okay, so that's been mostly done. I'm calling myself book editor. Well, this is pretty exciting. Yeah, okay, so what else should we do? We're over time. I'm very happy to continue a bit. This is something I need to do anyway, so I'm very grateful for your company. Oh yeah, text discussions. We wanted to change that to something else. What did you think it should be? Or
Oh,
should
no,
we delete it?
I think we should just delete it because it was the general reading that you added.
Mm.
Boom, gone. I have the power to delete space.
And the future of text book suggestions, what would that be? That's in the future for the book, right?
Yeah, that's about, let's change that book. It's like somebody had an idea that maybe we should have it be just interviews this time. Book format suggestions.
Hmm?
We don't have, should we have a space just for the future of text book? Because we have one for the symposia, and considering there will be other books in the future, it's a category that will expand over time as well. I don't feel like it goes into member projects, and it's not recommended reading. We should make a hub just for the book, then we can talk about the last edition and the next edition.
I think you're right. So I'm going to make a space group called what? The book or future of text book?
Just, I think, yeah, future of text book.
The problem with that is it looks like the future of textbook.
I agree.
When I,
Book
oh yeah,
of the future.
Mark.
Book, the future of text.
Yeah.
It's called
let
a
me-
future publishing, right? Isn't it future publishing?
It is future publishing, yes. But just wanted to mention, when I first came to the University of Southampton and I looked at the bookshop next to Costa Coffee, there was a section that said textbooks. Of course, it's a university, they have textbooks. I was electrified. I actually thought it meant text books. So,
You graduated from picture books. You finally arrived.
yeah. Yeah, so we have symposia. Should we just call it the book or what?
I like the book.
The book. I like
Yes.
the book too. Yeah, okay. Inside-
Just a couple of
But
sort of,
this is the book, actually.
yeah, good. It's a good book, isn't it?
That's
Yeah.
another good book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then inside there, I'll have one called 2020, which is references to the old one. And then I'll have another one for 2021, right?
Yes.
Okay, but 2020.
That's
is
already
all-
considering that every year we're going to have a new book then, from now into infinity.
The
I'm
end
just
of
gonna call
time.
it- Because we've already taken 2020 for a symposium, I'm just calling it first edition, actually.
Okay.
Which is, yeah. Then we have a second edition. So, hang on. So for the
And
first, sorry, yeah.
the inspiration questions would also move down to that space for the book, right?
That would then go into, yeah, but okay, under first edition, just before, so I don't lose myself there,
Mhm.
we have first edition websites. Yeah.
And if you also could move the book up after introduction. And then we have introduction, the book, and then for contributors advocacy, and then symposia.
Yeah, that would make sense. I wonder how to do that. Oh, I can actually just drag. Oh, that's pretty cool. That actually worked. Okay. So suppose, yeah, that makes sense.
And then you have one with links and then the book, and then that should either disappear or go into the space for the book.
Hang on, I'm just trying to do a,
It's very nice and sort of clean this, but one thing that occurs to me is, not everyone is up with the latest sort of design and technology and everything. Is wondering is the fact that how do you discover the links other than by running your cursor along the lines? I mean, I this is not because I'm saying, oh gosh, have really loud, shouty underlined links or something, but I'm just wondering if nothing else, it's something. It's a sort of just a side note to point out to some people who may be less familiar with the fact that you can do this. Lots of people, if they don't see a blue underlining link, will assume it's not there.
yeah.
I'll
But
check the documentation to see if we can change colors.
Yeah, I mean, but I think it's actually it's very nice. It's probably more just remembering somewhere to say to people, or one probably knows the people to say it to who just are less familiar with these conventions.
So I'm just changing a title here.
Links. You also have the ability to create custom external links right from your community sidebar. Point these links to helpful documents, other resources that may be helpful to members. Topics, code snippets, member tags.
It's a difficult thing because it's a bit like styling, and you very quickly get into an argument like Oxford Commas or something. And there's no one size fits all where everyone will be happy. It's just I'm conscious that if links are hard to see, some people in essence won't see them, and I don't mean because
I'm not worried
of
about that. I'm not worried about that for two reasons. Number one, at least the links that I'm putting in that are external have a .com or something else.
Sure. And I don't mean to make too much of the point.
No. But also, if someone were to go there and they didn't know it's a link, they would probably select that text to copy it, and then they see it's a link. But in the normal text, yeah, it is a bit odd because when I refer to a different space, I don't write the hashtag in front of it. I hear you loud,
yeah,
loudish. So here we have inspiration questions. I want to put that down for contributors. And then we need to, hang on. Okay, I think you can now, 1, 2, 3, yeah, please reload to see what you think about the organization on the left there.
Okay. Raphael, do you know when drafting, just out of interest, is this Markdown driven, or is it that if you want?
I'm going to mark you down if you don't behave, Mark.
No, it's just it's knowing because it's quite. This is something else I discovered from sort of in a sense helping run a forum is somebody who spent 6 months. So writing stuff without knowing, and actually the way they described it, yes, it wasn't evident to them that they could do things like underlining. There were other people did, but they didn't want to ask anyone. So what change do you want us to comment on?
I wonder why that's missing. We did have one in 2013. It was at the university as well. Yeah, the categorization on the left, are you guys happy with it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I have to leave now because I have to run several errands. It was
Okay.
fine talking to you, and yeah, see you on a Friday, I guess.
Yeah, look forward to Friday.
Take care, Gunther.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Okay. Well, that looks. Oops. Oh, that's interesting. So look at 2013.
Doc Searles. It's very weird.
Here's an interesting thing I've just noticed, and I don't know if it's just on one browser, but we have quite a long left nav bar in terms of all the number of things. So as you were, you mentioned you were looking at the different years. So I had, 2012 selected. I clicked 2013 and it loaded, but it also reloads the sidebar with the thing I've just selected scrolled off the bottom. Small beer, another first world problem, but I just something I noticed in I don't think there's anything we can do about it.
You were saying, Mark?
Oh, I was just saying, when you in this system, do you know if you're making a post, what method do we use for bold and underline and marking up URLs and the like?
Oh yeah, let's see what they use. Formatting.
I mean, Markdown seems to be the current vibe, but you never know when it's going to change. You've got to learn all over again.
I feel like it's just a simple, what you see is what you get.
Sorry about the noises off. That's next door's dogs howling.
It says 2017 tag has been used. Where? The search was very nice and quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Mark, when you select text, it works like Medium. You double click on a word and then you just click the bold tag.
Okay. Yeah. Fine.
They don't seem to use Markdown. It's just a WYSIWYG thingy. Okay, I think I might have to go.
Okay, are you happy with what's on the left? Because we're
I'm completely happy.
Welcome and member introduction, the book, first edition, second edition. All the other stuff is okay?
Yeah. Your 2017 tag's showing up now.
Okay,
Or item in the symposium.
No, it looks great. Like for a first structure, I'm sure we're gonna learn over time and adjust and adapt, but it feels like it contemplates everything we need for now.
cool. Yeah, it's not too overwhelming because of the nesting, so it's all good. Well, this was great. Thank you, guys. I look forward to Friday. Will you be there as well on Friday, Rafael?
Yes, I'll make my calendar available.
Well, Friday is going to be a biggie, and it's going to be earlier. It's going to be 2 hours earlier than today. You know that, right?
Perfect. Yeah, I saw it.
Okay,
It's good. No, yeah, I'll be there.
fantastic. See you later, guys.
Okay, bye-bye. Take care.
Bye.